Good to see everybody this morning, isn't it? Here, everybody's feeling doing better than I am. Yeah, if we can keep that go forward. I would ask that you were for me. I don't sound like a sea lion. Um, that remember prayer. Please keep them in prayers. Continue to remember Miss Ann Wesley. She was in the hospital. She has gone home. God bless the same thing before shortness of the problem is nothing. They can't determine anything wrong. Her heart is fine. Anything when testing, they find anything wrong. But she has problems, shortness of breath. So she goes to the hospital and they send her back home. And then a couple days later, she feels bad again. Back up there. Pray for her. For everybody might be trying to figure what's going on with her. It's very simple. But she's doing absolutely fine. So we're not going to worry too much. But if you would please remember her in your prayers. We need to remember. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yes, thank you. She fell on her, I think, lunch and broke her ankle in 2 pieces. She was at work, broke her ankle. We thought that she was having surgery that day, but instead she said it may be a couple days before she has surgery. Don't know, don't have any more information as far as that's concerned, but please keep her in prayers. With broken ankle, those are delicate, so hopefully there will be indications from that. No, we can get that taken care of. Her back home again. Anybody else that we need to remember? Yes, ma'am. Okay. 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 All right. Remember his aunt, the issues that she's having. Uh, uh, what's that? Emily Murray. Okay. All right. Please remember Emily Murray in your prayers. Anybody else? Anyone else? Anything else? All right. Well, keep me in your prayers. I'm thinking that there's I guess they call it a meme board, and it's something how many thousand people die because of stuff. So we won't. Right. I'll go to the doctor. The doctor would take me to the doctor. Apparently, my wife is taking me to the doctor. I said I'm going to the doctor today and figure out what's going on with me. Well, it was a joke, but it's the I'll pull it up and show it to you. Yeah. All right. Please. So just be in prayers. I just gotta quit being so doggone stubborn about going myself taking care of it. Thank you, brother. All right. So we'll have a word prayer. Our Father, we're thankful for the beautiful day that you've blessed us with, and we're grateful, Lord, that you brought us to this place this morning. Pray blessings. Lord, that separates you and separates from you. So what sin is and how we confront our lives. We ask Lord, that you bless those that we've mentioned this morning, those who are sick, who are in problems with their health. We pray for you with their measure of healing that is appropriate. We ask that you bless them with comfort and peace. We ask, Lord, that you bless those who may be traveling on their way this morning, give them safety. Also, those who have lost ones, there have been several members who have lost family members. We pray, Lord, bless them, give them measure of peace and comfort and strength that comes from knowing you. Thank you, Lord, for all this work. part of our church, that you have added to our church, and we're grateful that we understand the Lord in our own lives. Bless us, Lord, and strengthen us in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. And we here we go. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about the Bible words for sin. There's several of them, of course. Bible words for sin. I said this before, say it again. Do you have understanding of Hebrew? Thank you, Lord. That's enough to make me dangerous and to make me feel like I don't want to be a good scholar. That is a mind practice. It's something that's so foreign to us. We have to. It's helpful though that we can read and understand certain words because they do. That we find various things that are going on in Scripture. Helpful those words are many times more descriptive than the words that we have for ourselves. Okay, so kind of what we want to look at this morning. We have three specific words for sin in the Old Testament, and then we're going to go into the New Testament where there are 5 words we're going to look at words with sin. Then we're going to look at something that describe it's more of an object lesson because we can see what we're talking about. Okay, let's just get into it because it's when I'm sitting there describing it doesn't make much sense to me. It did when I was studying it. So, all right. So if someone would please turn to Psalms chapter 51, Psalm 51, and hold your place there because all of our words are going to come from Psalm 51. It's the first 5 verses of Psalm 51. So just hold your place there. Don't read it just yet. Just bear with me this morning. All right. Has everybody got Psalm 51? All right. If someone would read, please, verses 1 and 3 of Psalm 51. Whoever got it. The idea of first one, of course, is the idea of the word transgress. Transgression is the first word that we're going to look at this morning. The word transgression is a translation of several different Hebrew words. One that we're going to look at, the one that we'll use is the word pasha. All right, the word pasha. The word here is something that the word that we understand, but I think when we talk about sin with people who are maybe unfamiliar with what sin really is. That's the world is the world mostly say. It's doing wrong. They believe that there's sin at all, and that's the idea of postmodern thought. There's really no sin. It has the ability to decide for themselves what's right and what is wrong. There is no right or wrong. So in many cases, you get people who believe that there is no such thing as sin. When you bring that idea forward, okay, that's your decision, not mine. You may believe that this particular is wrong, but I believe that it's wrong. Therefore, for me, it's not sin. That we talk about that being part of post-modern study about several. The day is exclusive to modern day society. Have we found all scripture, haven't we? People believe that, listen, that opinion you believe is right, and you need to deal with that. I believe it's right, it's what's right, and I need to deal with. The same thing with wrong. Well, I don't believe that that's wrong, therefore it's not wrong for me. Even the Lord begins to Christ, there is no sin in me. There is no sin. Because they take that idea of liberty and they extend it far away than it ever has any right to. That when I'm in Christ, I can do anything I desire to do, anything I wish to do, and it is not wrong for me because I don't believe to be wrong. Well, Scripture tells us something almost exactly that, doesn't it? This is wrong, and they're not to be found in what is wrong, what is sin. The end of transgression, Shah, is this. It's rebellion. It means rebellion. Now, when we think about sin in terms of rebellion, it brings different ideas to our heads, doesn't it? All right. When we think about it in terms of rebellion, how that defines sin for us a little bit better. Okay. The concept of rebellion. We think about that rebellion. What do you think when we think of the word rebellion? Think of just that word, even in the context of sin. What do we think of? We think of rebellion. Okay, law. If you look at the idea of rebellion, when you think about the idea of rebellion, there's a couple things that necessity come to mind. One is that there must be a sense of order. Right? You can't rebel against something that's not there. When I see these kids and they're acting rebellion, I think we were against. There's nothing there. You know what? It's taken just tweak this. Just tweak that sense. At the end of the day, there's really nothing there. They're not rebelling against anything of major concern. They're, I'm showing the man. I'm going to rebel. I'm showing my rebellion, and there's nothing more entertaining than watching somebody that doesn't really know how to rebel try to rebel. But when we think about the idea of rebellion, we must have acknowledged that there is authority to rebel against. All right. So in the context of sin, we understand, of course, that authority is God. That God has laid out a pattern of behavior, a pattern of action. When we rebel against that pattern, that is transgression, and of course to us is sin. Does that mean that we have to understand everything? All right. I dare say if you go back to the book of Leviticus, the book of Deuteronomy, you start looking through those, you start looking through that pattern of behavior God's forth with Israelites. All right. Here's the chosen people. About Egypt, I'm taking them to their home, all the way they want to reveal to them my will for them. I'm going to reveal a pattern of behavior for them. Start looking at that behavior and think, why that? These types of foods are clean for you. Right? You're not to eat. Okay? Why those? Well, it doesn't matter, does it? I look at laws that we have books in today's society, and I can't, for the life of me, understand why those are the books. They don't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't know behind everything that's happening up until, brought this being. It doesn't matter if I understand them all, does it? It doesn't matter at all. What matters is that God said that this is the way they're supposed to be, and if I do something other than that, I am in rebellion against the pattern of behavior. Because I said so. And truthfully, God is the one that could just say about everything. Look, I told you this. But why this? Because I told you this. Because this is what I told you to do. This is what I told you not to do. When you're in rebellion against me, it's the same thing a group of people took a turn, government day. The group of people decided they were going to, they wanted to live under the office of the government. They wanted to about their own little group of people here. For the part, that really doesn't care as long as you don't obey certain laws. All right. The problem is when you disobey those, you are in rebellion against the United States government. And we for just that. Now, but all the things that go into that, all of the small things that do, you want to seize by force a piece of federal land and set up your own government and so on. All right. You look at all things that go into the action. All right. You may acquire armed force, buying them with game, where it might be. You may engage in a lot of illegal leading up to that. The overarching crime is that rebellion. Everything else falls under that umbrella of rebellion. If you think about that in our own life, all of the things that we do, it's not a big deal. This is not an issue. This is not a big deal. What's this problem? Well, the problem is necessarily that it's bad you did, but the overarching is that they're in rebellion against God. There's an authority that has been established, and you are rebelling against it. That's the problem. That's the problem. You can look at all of the small things that go into that, and those are bad enough, but at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're rebelling against God and His pattern. All right. So we understand this. This sin is an act of treason, isn't it? Treason. If we get down to human terms, most people understand what treason is. They pretty understand, even if they don't know the exact definition, or they understand what treason is. So sin is basically treason against the law of the universe. Makes perfect sense. So sin is a rebel. We're rebelling. So it's just breaking set rules and regulations, but it's rebelling against the ruler and the regulator. You know, it's not just are they the right word? Regard for rules and regulations, but in doing so, we have no regard for the one who made the rules and made the regulations. Right? So it's contempt for God. Right? Contempt for God, and it's treason. All right. So we have a little bit of understanding, and it's interesting. One is tied in directly to the forgiveness of the same thing. So when we engage in the thing, God is quick to forgive. And that's when we talk about judges. It's, look at the pattern, right? They're in rebellion against, they're in rebellion against God. And then when they come to the senses and realize what's going on, what do? They run back to God, right? They run back. Save us, save us. What he did, he sends them a champion, and he drives off the oppressor, and they have peace for another 20, 30, 40 years. And they start all back. They call to God, God save us, God save us. But we have to remember that every time they go off the track, every time they go into this polytheistic, paganistic, idolatrous worship, they're in rebellion against God Almighty. Sometimes that God even said, He told them that. He says, I'm quick to forgive. I want to restore you to myself. That idea is it. If we look at the true reward for sin, the true reward for sin is what? Okay, we deserve it. Do we deserve forgiveness? No, we don't deserve forgiveness. The great thing about God's grace, because of God's grace, He gives us forgiveness even when we don't deserve it. And here's that idea of how difficult it is to talk to people in the world about sin. Because what we do is we start going through the mental gymnastic, how sin is a blameless crime, so to speak. No one really hurt if I decide I'm going to get in this behavior. This simple behavior, right? We do, and we act, and we find ourselves caught up in this. We no hurt, not after it. Hurt. God isn't hurt. He said, I'm giving you these things. He said, I'm giving you these things in an arbitrary way. I'm giving you these things so that you can be pleasing to me. I'm giving you these things so that you can be holy. I'm giving you these things to be separated from the world and gathered to me, reconciled to me. We do when we fail to do the things that we're supposed to do, or we do the things that we're not supposed to do, we're in rebellion against God. It sets us up from it removes us from bring us to himself, and then what we do is we try just as hard to remove ourselves from again when we sin. That's what's so baffling when you talk to people in the world about sin, because they don't understand that it's not a victim of crime. It's people are so much. It's the God of the universe, and this is that loves us more than anything else. He loved us so much. He loved us that He sent only begotten Son for us. When you know what is hurt, I beg to. Do you know what has hurt the ruler of the universe, the sovereign Lord of everything that we see? We hurt Him when we sin. It hurts Him. Right. They don't even think of Him. If they acknowledge Him at all, they don't think of Him. How can He possibly hurt? Right? You have to accept me for who I am. All right. So, Psalm 51, verse 5, please. All right. All right. Second word for sin is iniquity. All right. Iniquity of all is translated as perversity. Right? It's crookedness. The idea of warp from this. Right? We're talking about the idea of warp. I mean, it's no longer true, is it? Yeah. It's been at one time, and now it has been twisted. It has been warped. When we think about the way that we have, when we come to God, God has us true again. He makes us straight, and then when we sin, what do? We warp ourselves. We become perverse. Right? So really, basically, the concept of gravity of conduct. I don't like what it says. I like the word depraved. All right, I think it's a descriptive word. We depraved. What does it mean? Depraved. Yeah. Yeah. Mercy. Yeah. All right. The idea of mercy. Here's the thing. In the world, we define the world as oh, okay, that's not because the world just defines what's normal. Especially in today's in modern, more recent developments, we find that what happened in this world is something that almost time was just it was that this is normal conduct, and that became abnormal. And something that has been considered abnormal conduct, that's perfectly normal. And needs to be accepted as perfectly normal. We have the right to say that it's abnormal. We can understand that more enlightened it will be. And I see this as an act of one continuing to remove the idea of absolute right and absolute wrong. years and years and years. Make strides, and then, of course, there's pushback. They make strides again, there's pushback. The idea of if a group of people or society as a whole can roll back, which is considered behavior for generation upon generation, that which was abnormal becomes normal, and that which was normal becomes outdated and antiquated. And they've achieved an end that's been generation upon generation. And there are times in antiquity he accomplished this. Look at the absolute hedonistic behavior of the Romans. I mean, it was. Believe they were that they believed they were sacrificing the idea of the family, the nuclear family. It was a religious idea for the Romans, but as long as that existed, other than that was perfectly acceptable. As long as your family was intact and you remained your family, you could engage in any kind of behavior that you could possibly want to engage in. The family was at. Right? What's happened is, again, over time, Satan's been attempting this for eons. Take that which was right and it crooked. Look at the way that God instituted the garden and everything that was in it. Everything you can get in, you can pick up. Everything you see you can pick up, except for one thing. Right? One thing. The tree of knowledge of good and evil. That you're not supposed to protect. Don't eat it. Better off someone go near it, don't eat it. Put there because obedience without the possibility of non-obedience is not legal. You give them an opportunity anyway. So there we are. So what was Satan's attempt at Eve? What did he do? He perverted it, didn't he? Yeah, he even said, did he say? He is the idea of taking something that was pure perfect and perverting it. That was the problem, and he's always been at work trying to do something like that. He had sin in the world, though, didn't he? You look at the world from the time of up until the time of what was the knowledge of God there, of worship there. Absolutely. I did 2 days ago. 2 days ago. It was there. The knowledge of God worship was there. But it was hard work trying to pervert that knowledge of God. So instead of worshiping God truly and acceptably, he started to bring in things that were inappropriate. He said, "Oh, no. I'm not worshiping this. You worship and accept doing this, not this." Continue on. And that's why we saw the ancient world slide into apostasy. They had God to reveal to them. His knowledge has always been there. There were people who were still maintaining their integrity. People becoming fewer and fewer by the day. Because every successive generation was being brought into that apostasy, that perversity, that depravity, that which was normal, it was understood to be normal, was being perverted. Excuse me. And that's where we are. In iniquity. The ancient world was iniquity and was caught up in iniquity, the idea of being depraved, perverse, crooked, warped, so to speak. I said this before, the great object lesson. So if you want to build a house, what kind of brick do you build your house? You want to build straight tile. I remember working for a long time. When you get lumber delivered, the thing he would do is he would snap those little metal wraps around it, and then he would go through it, and we would pull those off and look through every one of them, and we would make a pile. These are acceptable, these were not acceptable to you. And there are a few that were a little bit said, you can cut some of these up and use things. That will be okay. But we're going to build a wall. We need to build with lumber. Because if you live with lumber, you're going to see that as you walk around outside of that house. You walk from that side, you start putting up the interior stock, you look through, you'll see something that's not going to be acceptable. Well, is it going to be a house? Sure. Is it going to look like a house? Like a house. When the owner, when that's paying me to do this, starts looking around at it, he looks and say, world, the inside of the wall, they're doing this. That warped wood. You're going to sheetrock to the wood, yes, or it's twisted, or it's you can't use this. That's understandable, right? It makes perfect sense. So this is where we are. The idea of something that is depraved, something that is warped. Something that is depraved, warped, not build something that is acceptable. They can't build that. You're not going to be able to get something out of it that you want to get out of it. All right. And it's the same thing. You know, the idea of sin today. All right. Something. And we can't build it on something that's warped. Sure. Let me see, because I don't have it on. Yep. Yes. This is one of those verses that's had a lot of conceptions behind it, right? We talked about this not too long ago. Let me ask you, who here's heard some weird ideas of what Psalm 51 is, that portion of the thing about? What have you heard? Yeah. All right. That's nice. That's good old Calvinism, right? That's original sin, right? The sin that was imputed to Adam and Eve has now been imputed to me. The idea that at the beginning of all of us is the idea of sin. Look what it says. For I know let's look at verse 3. For I know my transgressions and my sin is ever before you. Against you only have I sinned, and done what is evil in your sight, so that you may be justified in your words and blameless in your judgment. Behold, I was brought forth in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. What could he possibly be saying here? What could he possibly be saying here? Huh? Well, one thing we can know, one thing we can 100% know is that when we are born, not born sinful. We can eliminate that right off the bat. This is what many people want to take that verse 15. We're born, we're in sin. And that we ourselves are of sin when we're born. Right. And would that of necessity have to Jesus Christ himself? Born physically? So I mean, Jesus Christ was a sinful creature. That doesn't get you there, does it? All right. So what does possibly mean? One of the, certainly in the explanations we can understand, is that when someone conceives someone, can conceive them in sin. It happens all the time. And that's part of the idea of what God has set in place as something pure. We've taken to mean something else. We've changed it. The idea of a man and woman is that we're to dwell with one another in marriage, and that's it. We don't have an excuse for doing it the other way. And of course, this is one of those things quite a time. I mean, we used that definition a long time ago. We're now almost celebrating. We pride ourselves on mindedness that it's not necessary. We can with one another outside of marriage and live with another, and that's perfect. What it tells us. That perversity. To do that is iniquity. All right? So it's a work view of what God in place, something very good, and something very pure. So it says, behold, I was brought forth in iniquity, and did my mother conceive. The idea of, when we look at this particular portion of it, it kind of gives us the answer what God does. In sin, my mother conceived me. So what does it tell us? That particular verse, what is it telling? How does he see this? How's David saying this? What is he saying here? In there we go. There was sin involved in his conception. There was sin involved. We don't know the circumstances surrounding it. Right? We're not given enough circumstances surrounding it, but we know that in sin, his mother conceived him. This is the great thing about it. He said, "Look, mercy on me according to steadfast love, for I know my transgression. My sin is ever before you, and to you only." David saying very specifically, I had sinned. In sin I was conceived, but I haven't sinned against you. Sinned against you in that way. In sin I was conceived. It kind of tells us, it kind of gives us the explanation right there. The idea of the passion of the flesh. Doesn't mean into sin. It means that he was conceived. Listen, there's a lot of that. Yeah, I mean, it's and it kind of that who's responsible for our sin? Who's responsible for our sin? Can anyone else be responsible for our sin? Can anyone make restitution for my sin? No. That's for me alone, between me and God. The only one that can do it. I can go to God by patchwork, right? We're not like it was the patriarchs where they would offer up sacrifices for the children. We're up there. Right? Where we are now is that we are all responsible for our sin. I go on my own behalf. No, I pray for others, sir. Absolutely. I pray for them to come. At the end of the day, I'm not responsible for any sin by my own. And this is something I think that we're seeing in a society where people are or make them feel they're responsible for something that someone else did. But you bear responsibility. I have my children, listen. At the end of the day, you're responsible for what you do, not anybody else. What happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago? You're responsible for you and you alone. But the Savior has been telling us that for 2,000 years. You're responsible for your sin. No one else. All right. All right. Number 3, 51 and 4. All right. This word, of course, the word sin. All right, the word here is kata, which means basically to miss the mark. All right. The idea of strive for something coming up short is what we're talking about here. All right. To miss means you see the goal and you're reaching the goal, you're running for the goal, you're striving for the goal, and then you come up short. You fall just a little matter where you fall. No, it doesn't. At the end of the day, falling short. Doesn't matter how close you came, it doesn't deserve the F that was before the idea that you fall short. So what do we do when we fall short? How Okay, we want to reach, what do we do then? If we've fallen short, what do? Get up and we keep going. We don't lay there. I remember the girl would be doing something like that. If something happened, they would fall. We would be doing something. They'd be running, and they would fall, and they would lay there for a couple of seconds. I'm like, get up and go. You can't just lay there. Keep going. You got to keep going. And they would just sort of the fact that they were on the ground and not sure what to do. You know, they would kind of pick themselves up and themselves on going, and eventually hit the goal. But for us, the idea of short, we can't stop just because we missed the mark. Does God know better than we know ourselves? Is He pretty confident in our ability to keep going? I think so, and I'm glad He is. He gives a lot of encouragement in regards to continuing, right? He doesn't. He excuse me. He doesn't. I think in a way he's more confident than we are ourselves. That. Right. 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 Yeah. And you know, God is the standard, right? He's given us pattern of behavior and that standard. And when we live up to this standard, when we fall short, to us it's sin, of course. And I want to say something about the sinner, right? When we fail, the sinner is there. For in modern society, we don't like the idea of a failure, do we? We talk about failure. Everybody gets right? Everybody gets right. You know, everybody wins. And when we do, sometimes what we do, we change the heart. Today in public school, at one point there was a target, right? There was reached. When they found out that a lot of people were reaching the target, they tried to the people who were driving the target. What do? The target closer. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? No, it's not. Because sometimes we do have to understand who people are and what we're trying to get out of them. Right? For when you understand quantum physics, we can no possible way. But can a 1-year-old do things? Do we try to encourage them to try to those little guideposts, those little mile markers? They're like, absolutely. You get to the age, you want to teach them how to body train. You want them to learn to eat solid foods and eat with their fingers. You want them to hit those mile markers. What we don't do is say, well, yet, so what we do is we're gonna curtail our expectation. Right? Maybe we're asking too much. But that's what we've done in today. What we've done is instead of encouraging people to hit the goal, what we do is we make them feel good about not hitting the goal and moving the post a little bit closer. Where's the problem? Where's the danger? Is it? And that's when God says He loves us. When God loves us, God does what to those who love us. He chases us. The idea is the idea of discipline. Discipline. What is discipline? What is discipline? Moving forward. It's the idea. The simply means God in it. All right. So what do we do with those that we love? God, what do we guide them towards? The mark, the goal, the thing that we're trying to get them to do. When the girls were smaller, we were always looking. What's the next milepost? What's the next thing? What's the big thing next? Well, next it's this. All right, so we we push. Sometimes we go too hard. Sometimes not. There's all the good. We want our children to be in an age appropriate situation. Same Christian. As Christians, what are we? All right, we're going to stop. We're going to stop. Pick this back up again next week. Feel better. Class will probably go better next week. Got vacation. Don't get sick. Yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. Force. I know. Right. I gotta say that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'll bring it over here. No, I can't do it.